The footage you are seeing here is said to have been recorded from a U.S. Gray Eagle drone. It is supposedly of the MH370 passenger airliner that went missing over the South China Sea back in 2014. The video shows what looks to be 3 spherical UFOs rotating around the aircraft before all 4 are teleported away. Appearing too good to be true, my first impressions were that it's CG, but after some digging, finding other videos, and reading through some quite compelling write-ups, my opinion has shifted. Additional footage, supposedly of the same encounter, was recorded from the NROL 22 intelligence satellite. Watch as the exact same sequence of events happens again, but from a different angle. It must be added that this footage has a dubious source, and we have no way of telling if this came from the actual satellite. But what we can do is analyze, and from what we have found out, the credibility it loses through its source, it gains back through the complexity of the video. As numerous CGI experts have put it, if it is a fake, it's a very well-made one. They go on to explain in some finer detail the considerable amount of effort it would have taken to fabricate a hoax of this quality. So the aircraft's disappearance took place on March 8th, and the video in question was first posted on May 19th. This would have given the hoaxers a span of 72 days to create the videos. This is what they would have had to get done. Create 2 photorealistic videos showing the exact same UFO footage from 2 different angles, incorporating effects with a quality that's indistinguishable from the real world. Compiling GPS data and classified satellite insights that aligns with Flight 370's coordinates. Creating lifelike cloud animations, which is a technically challenging task. Unlike common 3D rendered clouds, these clouds exhibit realistic shape changes influenced by wind. Capturing the video through filming a screen. If this is a leaked video, this method could be the most plausible means to avoid obtaining the original classified footage. Designing software capable of manipulating the mouse pointer to alter coordinates while panning across the screen. The list continues, but we'll stop there. If this video was faked, the fact that it started as a stereoscopic footage makes things even more interesting. This shows that making a fake video like this would need a lot of skill and work to get it right. Another CG expert weighs in with the comment, quote, "My main conclusion is that if this is fake, there are an immense number of details taken into consideration. Details shared by both videos. Full volumetric cloud simulation with slow movement evolution, plane contrails with dissipation, the entire portal flash sequence camera characteristics like resolution, frame rate, motion blur, knowledge of airplane performance, speed, max bank angle, etc. Details in the satellite video. The disparity compensation I just mentioned and the telemetry that goes with it. Rendering a stereo pair in the first place. My previous post about cloud illumination, and small details like self-shadowing on the plane and bloom from the clouds. Might the camera positions prove to match known satellites? Details in the thermal video, the drone shape and FLIR mounting position, keeping the crosshairs but picking some unusual choices like rainbow color scheme and no hood. But especially the orb rendering is careful. The orbs reflect the plane's heat. They leave cold trails and project a Lazar-style gravity well. Now, for me and many others, moments throughout the videos just look like CGI. They just don't look real. But sometimes this does tend to be the case when seeing something extraordinary. Take this SpaceX video for instance. Everything you are seeing here is real, but still looks computer-generated. It seems that when we are watching a video that looks to be breaking the rules of what we know to be possible, our brains tend to dismiss it as CGI, even when it's not. Over the years following the incident, wreckage and personal belongings washed up on the shores of numerous countries, far from the disappearance site. For obvious reasons, this throws a spanner in the works for the whole abduction theory. A common rebuttal is that the plane was teleported back to the original location, which then resulted in a crash. Another is that the wreckage was planted as part of a cover-up. Plausible, but not entirely convincing. There's also the question of what happened with the phone calls. During the hours following the disappearance, family members received phone calls from their missing loved ones on the flight, but when they answered, they were met with silence. When return calls were made, the phone would just ring and ring without going to voicemail. Now, there are many additional pieces of info I want to share, so we're going to do a little jumping around here. In the thermal footage, watch closely as the plane goes past the drone. It experiences turbulence. This adds a whole new level of attention to detail for the hoax theory. Would someone that's creating fake footage really go to this degree of realism that hardly anybody is going to notice? A full flight path of the UFOs was mapped by a Twitter user, and according to them, the objects completed a full sphere around the plane just before it disappears. By going through frame analysis and applying a method called stacking, Reddit user Grim Ziegfeld shows that it looks as if all the objects are pulled backwards once the portal has been created. In an International Business Times report from 2014, a Malaysian Air Force chief said that military radar detected a UFO in an area in the North Malacca Strait an hour before the plane had vanished. Here he is in an interview talking about the incident. What he refers to as a blob is an unidentified dot on their radar.
There's a last plot that happened at 0215, flight level 295. I'm not saying this is MH370, okay? It is, we are still corroborating this, we are still working with the experts.
So what are you saying it was?
Sorry?
You don't know what it was?
No.
So what do you see on
It's a plot. It's a plot. Unidentified plot. At 295.
He then goes on to talk about the plane making a turn back, similar to the maneuver we see the aircraft pull in the video.
To solve the recording on the radar that we have, and we realized that there is a possibility the aircraft did make a turn back.
When we look at the recording, it proves that there is a possibility that this aircraft made a turn back, but we are not sure whether it is the same aircraft.
By placing a transparent image of the thermal footage plane over an image of Flight 370, we can see the shapes of the planes are a perfect match. As the plane disappears into the flash, pay attention to the surrounding clouds. The flash illuminates them so convincingly and with such realism, people with 10 years of VFX experience can't see any signs of fakery. Finally, here's the full footage of both clips, stabilized start to finish. This case is one that I will continue to follow as I have a feeling there's more to come. I'll update you guys if anything develops that's worth mentioning.